Crowds spend big on Boxing Day. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's talk about an article from news.com.au which is discussing the smaller crowds but big spending on Boxing Day. Now I hope you've all had a Merry Christmas and are now we're in the funny period between Christmas and New Year's Day where, it's kind of, should I do some work or should I relax? It's a holiday, I'll play a few more computer games, might as well go shopping. It's that funny kind of zombie time. Lots of napping I would recommend. So, this is the article, guys. Smaller crowds are spending big on Boxing Day. Now, I went out on shopping on Boxing Day. We went to the local Westfield, and it wasn't that crowded. I guess we got in there pretty early. We didn't go too excessive. I spent, I got this shirt here from Kathmandu, guys. I got a gift card, so, you had to go spend it, of course. And Boxing Day is one of the few days I go out shopping. But, let's have a look at this, guys. So, smaller crowds spend big on Boxing Day. The traditional Boxing Day sales in Australia's bigger cities look noticeably different this year. But remember, we also have, Black Friday and Cyber Monday, all of these other sales that are now becoming bigger here in Australia. You can get it, if you wanted to get your bargains, you would have got them there. Boxing Day, really, isn't that when people buy for kind of next year's Christmas or make returns? And it generally lasts more than just one day. Large crowds of manic shoppers, have all but shied away from Australian cities' biggest Boxing Day sales, so they didn't exist, with noticeably smaller crowds being drawn to the bargains amid the pandemic. Melbourne and Sydney, the cities hardest hit by rising case numbers and consistent lockdowns, were noticeably quieter. When stores opened in Sydney on Sunday morning, the Myer and David Jones CBD stores only had a handful of about 50 people, in stark contrast to previous years of crowds of shoppers bursting through the doors. Now, I never got that. I guess if I think back, it's probably now a few years since we last really went Boxing Day shopping down the Gold Coast, and it was crazy. In Melbourne, bargain hunters descended on shopping centre Chadstone, as well as Burke Street Mall in the city. However, crowds were also noticeably smaller in both locations than in previous years. The smaller crowds can be attributed to a rise in COVID case numbers across the city and fears of a spread in larger crowds. Well, let's have a look at consumer confidence, guys. So this is from the Westpac Melbourne Institute from Trading Economics. We have a look down here. We can see consumer confidence is at 104.3. So, yeah, it's not at the highest point it was. And it is worse than actual expectations in the forecast. Okay, so Trading Economics forecasted to increase. It actually decreased by negative 1%. So consumer confidence is down a little bit from last month. But is this the lowest in... Yes, it is. It's the lowest since January. So it's the lowest in the entire year. Maybe that's got a part to do with it as well. Maybe people are a little concerned. They don't want to go out and spend so much money. I mean, because really, what are you going to get on Boxing Day sales? All of it is just frivolous things. Okay, a shirt. I didn't need to buy a shirt. I could have waited a bit longer. Could have gone somewhere cheaper. But with my voucher, it ended up costing me a few dollars. So why not? Maybe that's what it is. Do you think it's really fear of the COVID? I guess, I had my first ever telehealth appointment the other day. I injured my arms when I was doing paint stripping, and this stuff is pretty dangerous. It really burns into you, and I'm worried that they've been infected. So I wanted to get some antibiotics. Now, my doctors are all closed right now. You don't want to go to ED for something like that. Pharmacists won't sell it to me by myself, because that's just the way the system is here in Australia, unfortunately. So I had to do a telehealth appointment, rang them up. They sent it to the pharmacy. I spoke to the doctor, on the phone, showed him my wounds, explained what I had, all the symptoms, got a script, boom, done, went to the chemist, picked it up. $5 later, I've got medicine that can, hopefully mitigate my risk of infected wounds. And it all seems to be working well and it's quite fine. But the reason I say that is that shows you an example of something good coming out of this whole mess. I mean, in the past, I would have had to have driven to the doctor, gone in there, waited for my appointment, taken half an hour, done this, that, and the other, just to get a piece of paper for something I knew I needed anyway, that I wanted to get to mitigate my risk. They have to fulfill their duty of care, but we still have to jump through 50 million hoops. Where now the doctor, his practice was closed. I was talking to him. He was just doing it from home. So there's a bit of teething issues back and forth with the phone, but he figured it out. And I'm saying, so what, you can jump on this whenever you want, do a few hours of remote doctoring, and get yourself a new computer game. And he laughed and he said, well, they don't quite pay me that much, but which sadly I could probably believe, but it's still really convenient. You know, if he's got some downtime, he can remotely deploy his skills to provide a healthcare service. That's one of the silver linings of all of this COVID mess that I think moving forward could provide people with much cheaper and easier access to healthcare, particularly in remote areas around the country. Anyway, back to this. I went off topic again, but I thought, that was a good thing. It worked out pretty well. Next, it'll be a drone delivering it to my house. So, shoppers Fabian and Marissa Rosen told the Herald Sun they were searching for anything but everything during the sales. We're double vaccinated at the end of the day. Everyone is going to get it, Fabian said. What? Are people... I mean, okay, the point is that doctor was mentioning one of the reasons for the telehealth being so popular is so it mitigates the risk of people spreading COVID, or in fact the doctor going in and spreading it to someone's house or someone visiting a sick doctor. That was the point. Because these people are talking about how they're afraid of catching it and are worried. Am I just too stoic now? I don't... It's just what'll be, I guess. If we do the right thing, we're going to be okay. Despite the lower numbers, experts have predicted Australians would flood shops and splash a record $21 billion this Boxing Day. Now, hopefully that will happen. At our local Westfield, when we were leaving, about midday, it started to get packed. But in the morning, all the cafes and restaurants, they're all empty. When we left around lunchtime, people started flooding in. And these retailers, they need this trade, guys. They need it. I feel sorry for them. We're expecting great trade, said Magna Cumbernick, regional sales manager at David Jones, who expected 1 million customers would shop at the retailer's outlets around the country today. Really? She said the pivot to online sales has influenced the way that bargain hunters now shop in store. A lot of customers have done online research. Customers can come into our stores and are very prepared and know what they want, she said. It's been great to be back open and see our customers back in stores. Okay, so they're hoping for a huge splash of spending while consumer confidence is the lowest it's been all year. They're trying to paint it as something to do with COVID fears. Perhaps it is. We'll have to see. I've done one survey on the channel. I might ask another one here. We'll just jump over here to the left to see. I was asking you if you went shopping. So, of 447 votes, 4% said yes, and I spend big time. Way to go with your typing out on your phone there, Florian. Yes, but I only spent what I expected, 9%. Yes, and we spent less than our budget, 5%. And 69% said no, we don't want to go. There you go. So the vast majority of viewers of my channel or responders to this survey didn't want to go to Boxing Day sales. And I can appreciate that. And that's probably because we've got about 80% male viewers on the channel here. I remember in years past, Rachel would go Boxing Day sales, and I would stay home and either play computer games or have a nap, which wasn't that bad. But she's figured out if it's the time I get to go out and go shopping and buy toys and clothes for me, then it might happen. And 13% said no, they couldn't afford to go. So let's see in the comments here what people have said. So Meatball 3000, I just bought my deodorant, washing tablets, Dettol, toothpaste, basically all household products for the next year at a fraction of the price of normal, all online delivered, free in a couple of days. That's how you do Boxing Day sales. Now that's brilliant. That is really smart there, Meatball. Washing tablets, they're never going to go bad. Deodorant, Dettol, toothpaste. So all the groceries that'll never go off, buy it and get it delivered. Damn, we should do that. That's a good idea. Anthony had a fuel leak in the car, needed an O-ring. Repco had nothing. I spent $2 at Pick Apart. My Boxing Day shopping done. Anthony did it well. Boxing Day is really Boxing Week. Vanessa will go tomorrow. Kevin Rudd. Technically, I did, however, only to buy milk. Never been bothered with Boxing Day sales, only good for leftover Christmas stuff. Well, I think Rachel bought a whole bunch of Christmas clothes for the kids for next year. Another scam. Does a trip to Bunnings to buy paint count? Dropped into the good guys afterwards, despite signs everywhere about a sale. Nothing was really on special. Does Bunnings count? Let us know in the comments, guys, if Bunnings counts as a Boxing Day sale trip. It was bucketing rain all day. It's just started raining here. Literally, as I was walking from the other house to my little office here, it just started coming down. Happy Mythsmas, everyone. Hey, Smoochie. Regan, as long as the so-called lenders impose restrictions on me, I won't be spending any discretionary income. So Regan isn't going out. And Patty is a minimalist and saves you heaps and helps the planet. Now, minimalism is probably a fantasy that I would love to pretend could actually happen in my life, but I've got 6 kids, so there's no chance of it happening. None at all. Now, if you haven't seen, actually, I'll go back here. While we're here, I just want to, this is the photo of Josephine, who had just opened the Lego box that Rachel had made, and she was ecstatic. All the kids loved them. And if those of you don't realize, Rachel made some Lego boxes. She went and bought the little minifigures. And this wasn't the only presents the kids got, but, to make them seem a bit bigger, she added Lego from the kids' Lego set to it to kind of pad it out a little bit, and the kids loved it. They loved it. And they get spoiled. We still have my mother's Christmas. We're going down, and the kids are getting presents tomorrow. So it's all just fun and games, guys. So there we have it. Crowds spending big, hopefully, on Boxing Day. Consumer confidence, the lowest it's been. No, sorry, not quite. No, not quite. July. Okay, it's the second lowest it's been all year. We'll have to see, guys. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. And I want you to check out this video that I did about... Hang on, wait, I've forgotten the name. I've forgotten the name of it. The last one I did about why the Great Reset will fail. My Christmas special, everyone. I'm quite optimistic for next year. Take care. Have a great day. I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.